Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you a No Mythic and Mythic team you can use for this Tower of Doom event. Absolutely essential though is that you use the event weapon, the Doomed Aegis in this, because it gives times to score. Absolutely essential to get that. Now you can get it from the Tower of Doom shop or from the Soul Forge, but it's much better for me to get it from the Tower of Doom shop. It's available at tier 4, so you do have to buy tiers 1, 2, 3 and 4, but this plays into your advantage basically because you can get the Potion of Enchantment at tier 1 as well as some extra Doom sigils. At tier 2 you get more sigils and the Potion of Explosion, which explodes gems at the start. Really cool. At tier 3 you get even more sigils and the Potion of Rejuvenation, very handy. And at tier 4 you get the weapon, more sigils and a Potion of Armor, so very handy indeed. Much better to get the Doomed Aegis from here. But if you don't have the gems, you can grab it from the Soul Forge if you have a lot of diamonds you're not using. Well, so let's show the teams and go into a few battles. I'm going to go to this room here first, because there's a haste scroll in there. How do I know there's a haste scroll in there? Well, in Tower of Doom, if you're in a well-organised guild, you'll have a few people doing scouting, which is where basically they go to every single room on all the early floors and basically note down in the Tower of Doom part of Terran's world or in screenshots what is in every single room. Now, what you're interested in is the Hulf rooms. I call them Hulf rooms. They're the ones with heroism, unlock scrolls, luck, and fireball scrolls. Hulf. Hulf. That's how I remember which ones to get. So we'll go into this room here and we'll show the team. Now this is the No Mythic team. I'll show a Mythic option in a minute. But this follows a basic formula for Tower of Doom, where basically you're forced to have the doomed weapon. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes not. Not so much useful this time. We'll cast that very occasionally, I think, but not very often. Then you have a mana generator, typically up top. Bork is really good for this, destroying magic +1 gems, then create 3 bomb gems. Stick on 3 medals of Nausea if you can to increase the amount of gems that Bork destroys, and reduces the amount of damage from skulls by 25% and recovers 1 armor at the start of each turn. And is a mech, which is going to be the class we're in, which is going to help us in various ways because we'll get a 50% start on the weapon at the same time. Now regarding these troops, let's just change this spell effect to true damage and put the stronger troops to the top like that. Now when you go with the No Mythic option, the Deep King or Ulf Harrigan are kind of better off if you can, having 2 of each, like 2 of the Deep King or 2 of Ulf Harrigan. Like in Ulf Harrigan's example here, does true damage to 3 random enemies. If the enemy is wounded, deal 10 extra damage and has a summon, which is handy. And then true banding comes into play because gain 1 to all my skills for each ally with a banding trait. Ulf has the banding trait obviously, so you'll get 1 to each of his skills because you have 2 of them, popping up his damage a little bit more and stuff like that. Same as Deep King, really good on the early stages, dealing magic +2 true damage to 2 random enemies. Submerge myself and a random ally, which is going to hide you from damage to all troops, which is useful, and that random damage at the beginning will just wipe out the enemy in one go. Really straightforward on the early stages, and with 2 of them, all merfolk gain 3 attack on 4 of 5 gem matches. So that's a really nice way to go with the No Mythic option, and just basically keep on charging up Bork, cast that, the yellow will feed into Bork, self-charging, and the brown as well. Any extra brown and blue will feed into these 2, so it should work pretty quickly. Regarding the Mythic options, there are a few really good troops for this. First up, Phoenix is not a bad choice. Choose one, deal magic-based true damage to all enemies, or bring in a summon, which is cool, and that bless and enchant a random ally when I match 4 or more gems is pretty sweet as well. But I particularly like Tina 9000 for this. It's a mech, so it's going to get 50% mana start, which is superb, and deals a random amount of low to high true damage to 3 random enemies and gains a huge bunch of armor at the same time. And spell block is rather cool as well. But yeah, that 50% mana start, really nice for Tina 9000. If you don't have that, then Scourge of Honor, a pretty decent choice as well, dealing magic-based true damage to all and gaining 2 mana back for each cursed or diseased enemies, which happens when you get a 4 match. So like, if these 2 start slowing down later on, I may switch to 2 times Tina. If you've only got 1 Tina, pop in a Tina and a Scourge of Honor. Or a Phoenix, whatever. Like the Grey King's alright as well. You just have to target troops of a particular colour. to make that really effective. But yep, I'm going to show how this works on the early stages. The banner for this, +2 brown, +1 yellow, -1 purple eagle banner from the Stone Song Eerie. And we'll be in Mechanist class. Lots of benefits to this. We get that 50% mana start, which is nice. When Tina comes into play, that'll affect her as well. We can have stuff like Serendipity. Give a random ally a random status effect. Protector. Gain 3 magic if using a shield. We are, so that is good. Vanguard. Gain barrier at the start, always handy. Tactician. Gain 3 magic at the start, really nice as well. Mentor. All allies gain 1 magic. Banishment, I like to have that. Dispel all enemies on 4 or 5 gem matches. You can have a Tree of Knowledge, of course, as well. Quite handy when Athena comes into it as well, because she uses green. And armor plating. All mech allies gain armor per turn. So let's dive into a couple of battles. Let's show how this works, and then we'll jump into some high levels and see how it fares there. So early stages, just looking to get brown or yellow for Bork. That potion, the explosion at the beginning, often will get Bork up straight away. And cast that. The Deep King, because of the enchantment, will be ready next round. And we'll just cast that. And the damage will wipe out the enemy really, really quickly. And there's our haste scroll. Going to this room next. This is where our unlock scroll is. Then we'll do the boss room. And then we'll jump into some harder levels. A nice little explosion at the beginning. Give us a nice little head start. Have we got any brown? Have we got any yellow? No. So we'll just bash them around the head then. That's how you want to be. Fair enough. We don't mind. We can collect some brown and save our Bork. Always handy if you don't wipe out the enemy in a single go. Keep your mana generator on charge, so to speak. Let's do the boss room. Let's kaboosh them all out of there, and then we'll jump forward to a higher level. There's a Valraven. Make sure you get that thing first. Don't want it flapping off. Let's cast our Borky. She tried to be annoying but failed. There you go. Right, so jumped forward to floor 12. Show how this team does when things get quite a bit tougher, but working really well so far. I'm going to go to this room next because it's got the unlock scroll in it. That's the one we want. Using my Hulf technique, remembering Hulf. So heroism, unlock, luck, and a fireball being the scrolls you're interested in. When you find out where they are in the rooms from your guild, the guild scouts. Yeah, but this team's still working really well. Going to get our Bork up. Going to cast Bork. The sacrificial priest decided to kill one of his own team, but there you go. I got the summon. So we cast Deep King first, always. And the reason is, if you cast Ulf first, if you're using Deep King and Ulf in the same team, if you cast Ulf first and he kills, for example, one of the middle enemies, you're going to separate those enemies and do less damage then when you cast the Deep King, because the Deep King does splash damage. And splash damage affects the troop you hit and the troops either side. So you always cast the Deep King first, and Ulf will finish off those softened up enemies, and we can use the Deep King to finish off. It will hit the same target twice. Pretty cool. Alright, let's just do this one here. So yes, for that team, let's just rinse and repeat. Keep doing the same thing, and then just cast your Bork again, charge them troops up, and repeat the process. If you want a barrier, then obviously you can cast your Doomed Aegis. Really good. Give barrier to all brown allies. If you're an earlier player to the game, you feel a bit vulnerable, you can do that. And if you want even more safety, you can have a slower start, but by changing to Elementalist class later on, you can get the benefits of burn, stun, freeze, and entangle every single 4 match. Up to you. So we didn't kill the enemies there, so we're going to cast our Bork again. Get charged up. We've softened the enemy quite a bit. We should take out like 2 or 3 of them here. Oh, 1 survived on 1. Should have been more patient then and got my Ulf charged up again. But it's alright, we can do it this way. Still not bad. Well, let's just show a couple more battles, but we'll move to the Mythic team now. Let's go here, because this is where the unlock scroll is. Just going to show how well this works with our True Damage Troops Tina, for example. Alright, let's pop Tina in there. This works really, really well with the 50% start. Out of these ones, I think I'd leave Harrigan in there and swap out that. Obviously, you can have another Mythic in there. You could have another true damage troop like the Scourge of Honor. That'd be a good one to go. But I like Harrigan for a finisher. We'll just pop one Tina in there, see how this goes. Should go pretty good. We're going to have a nice start on mana. We're leaving the blue for our Harrigan at the same time, which is cool. So we cast that. Right, Tina's ready already. In 2 rounds we'll have our Harrigan ready anyway, so we could just collect that now. Or we could just cast Bork. Whatever you prefer. Let's go with Tina. Oh, she targeted the same troop. That was interesting. Usually sprays those bullets around a little bit, but the effect will still be the same, and it's still going to be nice and quick. Let us now dive into the boss room, and we'll call the video a day. Yes, the video, you are a day. A nice yellow match over there, but potion explosion destroyed it. Doesn't matter when you get something like Tina charged up straight away. Quite like to just cast it straight off the bat, especially if the enemy had a summon like they did then. You can cast Bork again, and we've got Tina charged up right away. Look, that was the benefit of just having Tina charge up so quickly. Cast our Ulf. You can choose to get the barrier again if you want by casting your Doomed Aegis if you feel vulnerable. A little bit mana short, we'll collect it by a brown match. Don't cast the Bork just because it's there sometimes. It's much better to keep a mana generator on charge if you don't have to cast it. Some people just automatically cast that again without really thinking about it. But we didn't need to. We could just collected that brown mana surge as we saw, which gives us an extra turn. And therefore we can cast our Tina. Wiped out the enemy for me, but if it didn't wipe out the enemy for you, then you've got your mana generator still sitting there ready to cast next round. But there it is, there's the video. If you enjoyed it, it'd be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.